Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness originally led off with a shocking opening sequence that would have given us Mordo, but like every wishlist cameo who got FaceTime with the Scarlet Witch was promptly met with a what face, as Wanda learned a lesson from the guy who took everything from her and went for the head again and again and again, apparently in this movie. Yes, friends, Mordo beheaded in a removed opening scene of this movie that would have better explained Mordo's too many sorcerers ending to the 2016 film, Strange's awkward recap in 838, and some mysterious promo imagery that was left out of the theatrical cut. And this video is sponsored by Storyblocks, more on them later. So I'm gonna explain what this deleted alternate opening was, and actually show you what it would have looked like, since they teased more of it than we realized in the marketing. Now this comes to us by the way of our friend Paul from the Heavy Spoilers channel, my UK variant, whom I occasionally dreamwalk into, or let him dreamwalk into me. Don't ask, it's too sexy for YouTube. But the man has an inside source confirming that Multiverse of Madness did indeed include, at some point in the post-production process, a sequence with the 616 Mordo facing 616 Wanda. Now you remember the theatrical cut of this film opens with the fantastical imagery of the Gap Junction, as Defender Strange and America Chavez flee a ribbon monster, one that we later learn is being controlled by Wanda. The action is heart-pounding, so no complaints, but you may have felt it might be a little out of character for Sam Raimi and Michael Waldron to open this film with neither of the primary lead characters, with a CGI spectacle that doesn't quite match the themes and the tone for the rest of the film. Like, it's a kind of fun sequence that works great in a first act to set the stakes and yank you into the story, but as a prologue to a horror film with massacres and morals being delivered by corpses, this sequence felt a tad Candyland. In fact, for the whole opening 15 minutes of this movie, we just assumed this Gap Junction sequence might have just been a dream of 616 Strange. Add this to the fact that the movie weirdly glosses over Mordo's arc from the 2016 film when he broke away from Strange and Wang and was last seen slaughtering, hobbying wizards.
Too many sorcerers.
Strange references this when he and America meet the 838 version of Mordo. Strange says, "He's actually the first guy who let me into Camartage, and then he snapped and dedicated his life to try to kill me." They stare each other down, then, surprise, 838 Mordo greets him with a warm hug. This scene feels like a punchline to a setup we never quite received. Structurally, there probably should have been some story beat that tracked Mordo's anti-sorcerer crusade to cast him as an anti-magical Avenger villain, so that his hug with Strange in 838 would pay off as a satisfying reversal. But according to this new report, such a story beat was indeed part of this movie originally, but removed. Reportedly, Multiverse of Madness originally opened with Mordo tracking down Wanda to her residence in that corrupted orchard to punish her for what she did in Westview. And then, almost immediately, Wanda beheads Mordo, imprinting her to us as a cruel villain. And this whole story to be as much about Wanda's actions as it is about Strange's actions. And then that would have led to the minion that the Scarlet Witch puppets, the Ribbon Monster, chasing down Wanda's target, America Chavez. Now, this deleted opening scene was actually hinted at in an official poster for the movie released by Screen X. In the bottom right, the ruins of a house, Mordo walking up to it with a sword strapped to his back, and Wanda peering out at him from the window. This poster was also the one that gave us our first clear look at the Book of Ashanti, so these artists seemed a bit more liberal with their depictions of the opening act of the film. Now, this is the same broken house that we saw in the background of Wanda's orchard, a set piece left as a mysterious loose end pointing at what exactly Wanda was doing in this location. I've also been having a bit of fun with how the very first teaser for this film included that shot of a random crow squawking at us, a shot that was never in the film. But when you look closely at this shot, the red lighting around the bird, this was probably some tone-setting spookiness from this removed opening sequence with Mordo. Now, this opening sequence likely would have confirmed where exactly this orchard is. Now, one could assume this ruined house is the same cabin Wanda was in the WandaVision post-credit scene, a scene that we now know Marvel re-edited a few months after the initial upload, changing the trees that surround the cabin. But this orchard, neither the flowery illusion nor its twisted, corrupted true state, seems to border that mountain lake that the WandaVision cabin was situated beside, so this might be a new location that Wanda resettled in after that cabin. Maybe one of a series of locations that Wanda hopped around to, fleeing Mordo, like her days on the run with Vision, until through the Darkhold she became powerful and corrupt enough to stand her ground and fight back. Now, one of the tools we use here at New Rockstars to make our videos better is Storyblocks. A Storyblocks membership is essential for any creator. Thanks to Storyblocks for sponsoring this video. They have a huge demand-driven, royalty-free library full of 4K and HD footage, After Effects and Premiere Pro templates, music, images, and sound effects to bring your stories to life. We've got the Unlimited All Access plan, which gives you unlimited downloads for the over 1 million assets in their library. Choose from one of their flexible subscriptions that scale to give you all the content and tools you need to focus on creating, not worrying about budget. And if you're a member of a large creative team, marketing agency, or media organization, their enterprise license has your back with comprehensive coverage for your entire company that enables you to distribute wherever, whenever. So go to storyblocks.com/newrockstars now or click the link in the description to check out their unlimited all access plan today. Now, Sam Raimi included this interesting close-up of a crate that Wanda tossed the branches into, labeled Volkers, which I thought might be a nod to Wendell Volker, a minor character from a Thunderbolt Zemo storyline. He's an academic who works with Reed Richards to uncover that Zemo had gone back in time. Maybe this crate is a reference to him or someone else, but either way, it just seems specific enough that it could have pointed to who really owns this estate, the person that Wanda took it over from, and the way that Mordo was able to find her in this deleted opening scene. Now, by removing this opening scene, it definitely changes how we look at the opening act and at the entire film. It makes Multiverse of Madness more of a Doctor Strange movie than a Wanda movie, and it delays the reveal of Wanda's dark turn to the moment she uses America's name despite Strange never saying it, making that a really cool twist. But really, and I think this might be the reason it was cut, is that it just avoids a super violent, shocking intro, which might have been done as a concession to censors, both the MPAA and abroad. As let's be honest, this movie was already towing the line of an R rating with Wanda's Illuminati massacre. I mean, this is gonna sound dumb, but it is how it works. Censors are more likely to object to mature content in the opening minutes of a film than stuff later on in the movie. Maybe because easily triggered audiences are more likely to object to stuff when they're still forming of an opinion of a movie as they're working through their popcorn than they are an hour into a movie after they've already been won over. Like that F-bomb in X-Men First Class, they didn't put in the opening minutes of the film, they buried it an hour in.
Go fuck yourself.
And I think the downside of these concerns over censorship is that it may have deprived us all of a chance to see Wanda's downfall as a result of that cursed Darkhold's corruption of her soul. Context that I think might have helped some who saw this film digest Wanda's transition from dealing with her grief in WandaVision to these violent outbursts in this movie. This opening scene with Mordo could have been a stepping stone to that, as she defends herself from Mordo's slaughter and says, well, if he can kill people, maybe I can too. I mean, the good news for 616 Mordo is he now still gets to be alive in the 616 universe. Good for you, Chiwetel. Now, we don't know how much this deleted opening scene would have gone into it, but I can tell you the mere sight of a witch alone in this broken house with nothing but her solitude and an evil book to keep her company, just one scene of that would have given me quite a bit of emotional context for why Wanda does what she does. But, you know, I also can't argue with the choice in a 2-hour superhero movie to reveal a character's true moral alignment with this haunting visual twist, followed by some great cold-hearted bitterness delivered so perfectly by Elizabeth Olsen. This whole orchard scene, as it was in the theatrical cut, was definitely one of my favorite scenes of the film, so I can't fault it. But I want to hear your thoughts. Comment down below. Do you think this scene should have been kept in the film, or is it better off without it? Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars. Subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.